So, Gabriel, thanks for coming in again today. We've kind of run through this biofeedback stuff before as sort of an intro to it, because I know we've worked together on some of those physiological symptoms of what you feel with a craving, and kind of going through some of those symptoms. Tell me which, walk me through what those cravings and some of those symptoms felt like with you before.
Sure. It's mostly, literally every single time I think about alcohol, it really starts to pop in. I've been in treatment here for the past 30 days. I feel like I'm doing really well. Just the cravings are really, really tough to deal with. And so, once that little thing pops in my head, I start thinking about it. I go, okay, I'm here. I've been sober for 30 days. I'm good. And then it starts to be like, but what about, dipping back into that?
Mm-hmm.
And I get really anxious because I feel like I can't control myself. And so I'll get upset. I feel like I'm having an anxiety attack. My heart is pounding. I feel like the walls are closing in.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have control over that. And if I can't even control that moment, how am I supposed to be able to control alcohol? How am I supposed to be able to control my addictions? So it kind of just reinforces this mindset that I'm weak. I can't do anything about this. And that just makes me want to crave even more, because alcohol is the way I beat anxiety. So
yeah.
It's just a really vicious loop.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say I applaud your awareness around some of those physiological symptoms that you do notice. And yeah, not being able to control or having a sense of control, making you feel weak, that's a tough feeling to sit with, for sure. I think with some of this work that we'll add in, doing some biofeedback, I think you're going to really be able to see sort of what those physiological responses look like. And then hopefully as we continue to work together, you'll see that we can actually create some balance between some of those, fight or flight symptoms or being too relaxed. You'll find that little happy medium, maybe get that sense of control back.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel it now, and honestly seeing it on the screen just go up and down, and it makes me, is that good or is that bad right now?
Yeah, so let's kind of just tell me what you see on this right now, this first screen here. Some of those symptoms right now, you can kind of see what that does to the screen, as compared to what the part on the bottom is sort of like your smooth rhythmic heart rate would be. But that's fine. We're just kind of looking at what those symptoms will come up with us on a heart rate, and with our respiration belt here on this next slide. And again, I just want you to kind of take me through sort of what you're seeing on this screen, compare and contrast to what a normal breath looks like, maybe to what your breath is kind of looking like.
It's really fast, and I'm taking a lot of really short breaths.
Mm-hmm.
It can kind of remind me a little bit of my heart rate. It's just really, really quick and really fast, not really deep.
And you are experiencing those things with these, with a feeling of wanting to use again.
Yeah, having that little conversation with you, that kind of kicked it in for me a little bit now, and seeing this on the screen is kind of magnifying it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope what you are seeing is that there is a response to what you are feeling, thinking, and sometimes it manifests in our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to work on a little bit more awareness of what that is happening. You've kind of already seemed like you've built some of that awareness up. I think the more of that, the merrier.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll go to this next screen here. And you'll see quite a few things. Why don't you just kind of take me through what you notice on here?
Three, kind of, they almost look like gas meters. And the one on the left is pretty high, the other two are pretty low. And I see, it looks like my breathing again. And then, that little pink marker. I don't know whether that's trying to match my breathing or
So yeah,
getting close to it.
you'll see the blue line matching your respiration and your heart rate are kind of on the same screen.
Okay.
Won't look at the bar graphs going up and down too
Okay.
much, but yeah, this is sort of just taking us through what a respiration that's steady kind of compares with the heart. And you'll notice, like, when you go or take a deep breath in, your heart rate is actually gonna jump up a little bit too. And when you exhale, that's when your heart rate kind of comes down. You'll see those two lines match up with each other as you breathe.
If I do a really deep breath, okay, that looks a lot more like the normal ones from before. Don't feel that way, but it looks a lot like that.
Yeah. Seeing the heart rate and respiration rate at the same time, you're seeing a physiological response to just your breath and how it affects your heart rate. So working on some of these, the breathing, looking at it through this biofeedback measurement will hopefully allow some more awareness of how we can, manage our somatic symptoms with just a respiration technique like box breathing. Okay, Gabriel, so kind of familiar with this, the graph part. You mentioned the bar graphs on the side. This is actually showing our three types of nervous systems. We have the SNS, your sympathetic nervous system, kind of on our far left here. And as you can see, yours is a little bit more higher than normal. And that makes sense because, like you said, you were feeling those symptoms of withdrawal. On the far right-hand side is our parasympathetic nervous system. And that's what we're going to kind of try to elevate in order to balance between SNS and PNS systems, and hopefully find some balance, and you'll be able to see the balance, and you'll also be able to, hopefully as we go through this, tell me kind of how you're feeling throughout this process. So what I want now, Gabe, is you're going to follow this ball. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's pretty smooth. I just want you to breathe normally. And if you can, do your best to follow this ball. So as that ball goes on an incline, you're going to inhale, pause at the top, and exhale, pausing at the bottom, sort of doing your best just to follow this ball along, okay? We'll do that for about a minute or two. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Yeah, and you can see as you inhale, that heart rate goes up, but it's following your rhythm, your smooth breath that you are in conscious control of. And the heart rate going down as you exhale. Creating that autonomic nervous system balance. Yeah, and really using like you're blowing out through a straw, smooth and rhythmic on the way out. Yeah, really good. Very good. And you'll notice you can see those lines matching up with each other.
Yeah.
How is the rate? Are you able to follow the ball pretty easily?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have you go through one more 30-second rep. One last one. You're doing really good. And finish your exhale. I'm just going to pause you right now. Take a moment to wiggle the toes or wiggle the fingers. Come back to the room. And so take me through, like, what was that like for you?
It was helpful.
Yeah.
And I was able to see when we first started out just how out of control I really felt. And like I tell people I feel out of control, and there it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's my out of control right there. Like I can't breathe. I feel like it's really closing in. Like my heart's pounding, my head's pounding too. And yeah, like right now, I brought it down a ton. And that's really big for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still, have the craving and stuff, but a little bit of that, like that intensity, that feeling like I can't really control myself it's not gone completely, but I'm feeling a little bit more confident about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
A little bit more confident.
And as you can see, not only did you, like you said, bring yourself down, but we really found like a good balance between our two nervous systems here, and you can see that on the graph. Like, just tell me, like, take me through, like, what do you see on the graph? Yeah.
Yeah, my heart rate is really matching my breathing right there.
Mm-hmm.
And like really, really matching it. As beforehand, it was kind of chopped up, and then that middle bar that you said was kind of a balance between parasympathetic and the sympathetic is, it's up there. It's better than those other two ones. It's a lot higher. It's at like 90 or something, where the other ones are down to like the 10s.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool too to see that. And just being able to see this too is really nice. Like, I'm my own worst enemy, but this is like evidence. This is proof saying like, no, I'm doing better here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really big to see.
And something as simple as, doing some smooth breathing,
Yeah.
I think it's really cool how, like, that is matching your heart rate. You are seeing something as simple as a coping mechanism as some smooth rhythmic breathing really starts to match your heart rate. And that's what's really helping out that physiological symptom of feeling more in control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like what we did here wasn't like full-blown processing or treating the symptoms. This was like, hey, we noticed one of your big triggers is these feelings of anxieties and these feelings of like weakness and not being in control of like
Mm-hmm.
your own response. Let's work on that, and then like bring that back into like the therapy room as well.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, like you feel you have this control now. Where can you apply that control to other aspects of your life?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, like maybe I can not, drink when I walk back to that place. Like I realize I do have control over my body, and I do have, like maybe, I can start thinking about that control over my actions and stuff like that.